Hello everyone, I am here today with a very special car. This is the nicest Bentley Arnage I have ever owned. It's a 2001 red label, so it has the 6.75 liter Rolls-Royce V8 with the big turbo on it, 400 brake horsepower, 54,000 genuine miles from new. It was used as a wedding car, so everything's been kept tip-top. Everything had to work, you know, for these special days. The car was being hired out for $1,000 for, you know, weddings, and you can't have windows break or seats not work. So every button, every switch works. It drives like a brand new car. There's no warning lights. There's no rust or corrosion. The paintwork is all original, which is great because on a lot of wedding cars, you'll see the cars have been wrapped or they've been resprayed, or they do interior changes. A lot of things you can see sometimes in the wedding car business, but this was owned by a guy who had a fleet of really nice cars, and this was just something he kind of did on the side with this car. I mean, I think it's only done about 1,000 miles in the past 3 years. Full service history. The car was supplied new by H.R. Owen and was serviced extensively in London by Jack Barclay, Bentley main dealer. All of the red label badging is present here on the center caps, even on the valve stems. Super straight body. These are impossible to find with this kind of mileage, this clean, and at this kind of price point. It does have the rear parking sensors and front parking sensors, and some really special options that I've never seen before on any car, and that's the steering wheel. If you look here, that's actually set into the steering wheel. I've never seen that on an Arnage. This is something I've only seen on one other Arnage, and that is the Burwood door cards. Yes, the door caps, but only on the Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph have I seen door cards. This has the sunroof. The stitching on the dash pad is just absolutely fantastic. You've got the Alpine sat nav that flips up there. There's the controls for it. Your sport button. All of your heated memory seats. Just a beautiful car. The leather is in outstanding condition. Everything is what you would expect on a car with this kind of mileage. Absolutely gorgeous. Another thing that I haven't seen on any Arnage cars this early is the stitched headrests. All 4 seats. You've got your electric seat controls there, rear air conditioning controls. Everything's really nice. You've got your Bentley umbrellas in the back with the Bentley battery charger pack, full toolkit, and a full-size spare, which is nice because usually these cars have that weird orange spare wheel. Not the case with this one. And let's go ahead and look here. I love this wood. It's beautiful. The color combination is excellent. If you wanted to use the car yourself for the wedding business, this color combination, the silver with a light interior, it's just perfect. Yeah, I just really love it. Okay, now for the fun part. Now we go for a drive. Okay, I've got 2 keys for the car and 3 key fobs. Hop on in. All right. Does the systems check. And you can see here, no warning lights, 54,000 453 genuine low miles from new. It's reminding me to put my seatbelt on. So let's get that done and out of the way. Also, turn down the air conditioning so we can hear. There we go. All right. So, and I'll just play the radio for you. Just it's on radio 1.
Oh, amazing! It brought a tear to my eye.
There you go. You've got the radio, so you can hear that. All of your analog gauges are situation normal, exactly where they should be. Your volts are charging nice and well. Oil pressure is great. Got half a tank of petrol. And our temperature, excellent. I just put a few hundred miles, I think 250 miles on the car today, and it was just a lovely drive. Tracking's nice and straight. Suspension's excellent. None of the bushings have to be replaced. Okay, there we go. Let's go for a drive. Now, let me talk about the difference between the red label and the green label in drivability. You will notice a huge difference in power and the way the power is delivered between this car and the green label. So the green label has 350 brake horsepower. This has 400 brake horsepower. Now, you might say, okay, well, 50 horsepower, what difference does that make? That's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a full second. Wow. Wow. Whew. It's a full second faster, 0 to 60, than the green label. And it just feels completely different. It feels powerful. It feels muscular. Whereas the green label is a quick car, but it's just not the same. The car pulls like a train if you want it to. You know, if you want to put your foot down, you can feel it's a Rolls-Royce big 6.75 liter engine hauling this car. The sound of the engine and the exhaust is completely different. You've got a really nice tone in this car, whereas with the green label, you don't really, the thing you hear the most in the green label are the turbos whistling. You don't really hear the whistle in this car. You've just got a nice growl that is a pleasure to listen to. As far as maintenance goes on the red labels, the costs are pretty much the same. A few things are a little more expensive, like your bushings and your brakes, because you've got a bigger engine in the car, so that in a different engine, so there's different bushings, and motor mounts and whatnot. You've got bigger brakes on this car, so the brake discs are, I think they're like 20 pounds more than the green label. But aside from that, this engine was used for decades, you know, in both Rolls-Royce and Bentley. It has stood the test of time. The one thing they say to look out for with red labels are head gaskets. You know, depending on how the car has been driven, right around the 70 to 80,000 mile mark, there is a tendency on some of the cars for the head gaskets to need replacement because of the power from the turbo. It's a lot of power going through the engine. It's a lot of compression. What I can tell you is that on these lower mileage ones that have been babied, it's really not an issue. I mean, the car was used as a wedding car. I probably drove it just in that second to demonstrate the power. You know, that's probably the most aggressive it's been driven in years, and that was nothing. I didn't put my foot all the way down. I just gave it a little juice. You know, so it's had very light use, and if you take care of this car, it will take care of you. There are specialists who later down the road, if you decide to do the head gaskets for preventative purposes, you can get it done quite reasonably, depending on what part of the country you're in, because there are a lot of specialists very familiar with doing that service. And the parts themselves, really inexpensive, just the labor. But long story short, what I wanted to tell you is that don't be afraid to buy a red label. It's got the extra 50 horsepower. It's got the Rolls-Royce engine, which in my opinion will serve it well as far as for investment purposes. Having an authentic Rolls-Royce engine in the car, the enthusiasts, the collectors prefer that. You know, as far as collectability goes, the red label is more desirable. And the other interesting thing that makes it kind of rare is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last model to get the Rolls-Royce 6.75 liter engine. All of the engines on the Bentley side went into Volkswagen. I think they're all Volkswagen design. I'm not going to actually get off here. I go to the next junction. And then with Rolls-Royce, the engines were BMW engines. So the Phantom's got a BMW engine. The Silver Seraph has a BMW engine. So for you know, the pure, real deal Rolls-Royce engine, 6.75 liter, this is kind of the end of the line, which is really interesting and makes it that much more desirable. I hope the video has served you well. I hope you have a good idea of what this car is like in person. I absolutely love it. I hope no one buys it off me so that I get to keep it. I don't think that will be the case. But yeah, this is a really special car. It's got great mileage. It drives like new. And whoever gets it, they're going to be one happy guy. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off here. And I will see you later with the next video for the next car. Take care, everyone.